Welcome back to the channel, everybody. I'm here on an autumn day. This is October, and the reason why I'm uploading this for you is to show you a couple of new bits of kit that I've got, but more importantly I just want to share with you some of the details about them. So I'm not here to promote this tattle, I'm just here to make you aware that if you are going to go out and buy a box like this one, that there are one or two things that you might have to change that might be different from your current box. So it's just something to think about, because I found this out myself. I went and ordered this lovely box. This is the XR36SL from Matrix. Only arrived last week, so this is a nice fresh video for you. However, it took me 2 or 3 hours to play around with it to get it to fit in with my fishing. We all do lots of different fishing, and most of you will be aware that I fish lots of different venues, including lots of natural venues. So I need lots of flexibility with my tattle. You know, I'm not only sat on a platform on a commercial, I might be sat 5 meters out in the water at Ferry Meadows where I'm sat on a platform. So I tailored to suit a lot of my tattle to suit my style of fishing. So here's the nice, bright, lovely new box. It's got a bit of mud on it. I have just fished a 3-dayer, so it is worn in now. But I've got some attachments on here that I'm going to be showing you how I carry them and why I carry them that might help you out. So the first thing that I just want to make you aware of is the height of the box. Now this box is what we refer to as a hybrid box. So basically it's a cross between a H-frame box and a normal seat box, and that's because of this here. If you just look at this H-frame at the back, because of this H-frame here, it means you haven't got anything here which helps reduce all the weight. You know, it hasn't got a big back on it that's increasing the weight of it. But what it does do, it limits the height that you've got between here and your seat without adding trays. Now this box actually comes with 2 trays. There we go. So there's 2 shallow trays and the deep drawer there that you can see. So I've got everything in there that I need, all my deep drawer. And these 2 trays now I utilise for hooks, which I can explain to you about what I carry, because I know lots of you might be able to get some value from that in your own setup. And the other shallow tray is where I carry shock leaders. Most of you know that, you know, I'm into my feeder fishing. Lots of the venues I go to, you're casting 50 meters plus and you need to use shock leaders. So I carry shock leaders in one of these drawers, and the other one, or one of the trays, and the other one's got my hooks in. I'll just quickly show you hook wise. I've got my barbed hook patterns there. I've got one with all my barbless patterns on, and then because I only really use one pattern of hook for my method feeders, which is the new Matrix Carp method hooks, I only need a smaller selection of method feeder hook lengths, and that's it. They're all there for me. And the beautiful thing about that is that when I am sat right out in the water, how many times have you got out to your platform and you sit down and you're ready to fish your match or start fishing and you've forgotten something? So you've got to get off your platform, wade back through the water, go back to the bank for it. Things like your hooks, you might want to change your hook pattern or whatever, they're already out there with me. Same with shock leaders, they're already with me out there in the water. So that's one of the reasons why I've changed to this style of box. So I've got 2 trays on there and the deep drawer, and that just brings that height up nice for me, which gives my knees here a 90-degree angle, so it's nice and comfortable. And I've got some attachments on here which I'll show you. But the next more important thing that I really need to share with you is, if I remove that box, because this box has got a H-frame there isn't anything here. If you're going to use a transporter, you're going to need a H-frame bracket, and that is self-explanatory. You can see what that does. That supports this here, which means it sits on your transporter nice and safely. So that's something that's mega important. You know, you can't really put that on there without this. You know, it's just not going to be as secure. So if you are going to get a H-frame box like that, or a hybrid box with partial H-frame, you will need a bracket. Don't forget that, because I did. Okay, let me take you down to the peg. I just want to quickly show you about these attachments. So we'll pop that on there. Now that barrow is a short wheelbase, which means the foot plate can't come all the way out when it's on the transporter. So I'm just going to slide that out. There we go. So that's fully extended now. Pop that there. Okay, so I'm going to show you my side tray. I'll just show you these attachments round this side. If I stand here like that. So these 2 attachments here, I'll leave on the box. Just speeds up me setting everything up when I get to my peg. That is pretty much self-explanatory. That's what I use for the butt of the rod. I have that on my middle leg. Some people have it on others, but for me it's just more comfortable on the middle leg. And this here, if I simply press that button there, that slides out, and that enables me to swing that round, pop that back in, tighten it up, and that is for the butt of my rods. Super simple. On venues like this, you don't always need a roost. We've got lovely, well-cut grass here, so if I was going to lay my rods there on the grass or your top kits, that's fine. They're down out of the wind. However, on venues like this, and I've learnt this the hard way, there are lots of geese, swans, ducks, and sometimes there can be a lot of them. If you've got your rods and things laid down there, it can, you know, they can get damaged from those animals and stuff. So wherever possible, I would use a roost, and I have that there out of the way. Lots of people have asked me about setups and stuff, and some people struggle. The reason why I have them there is because it's out of my way. It's not directly behind me. Lots of people put a roost directly behind them. I've seen lots of accidents there when people are fishing with conventional feeder rigs, for example. They go like that to cast in, especially with long hook lengths. I've seen some complete disasters, trust me. And I don't have it over here because this is where my landing net will go, my side tray. The last thing you want to be doing is hooking a fish, landing it in your landing net, pushing the landing net back and clattering all your top kits or your rods behind you with the landing net handle. You know, you don't want to go damaging your tattle, you know. Lots of you have spent lots of money on your kit. You don't want to go breaking it. Now, the final thing that I just want to quickly show you is the new tray. So this is the new folding tray that I'm now using. Now, this is the XL one. Now, if you're like me and you fish lots of venues where you might be sat out in the water, I want plenty of room on my side tray because, you know, you might have other things on there. You might have bowls of ground bait, you might have a drink there, your flask. I just want plenty of room so I'm not having to get off my box, go back to the bank for stuff, and I don't want other trays everywhere. Some people have trays behind them or on the other side. I only want one tray. So that is what I've got here. So this is the XL version, which is probably a little bit too big for some people, but for me it's ample. Now, one thing you've got to remember is that with the XL, I'll just show you this other bracket here. With the XL, because it is so big, you're going to need a support arm or a support bracket, and that's what I actually leave on my box. That's what I've got here. So I can slide that up there, turn it round, and that's going to be there to support my tray. And you can see how quick and easy this is. You know, you could do this in a minute or two, you know, just set your whole box up how you like it. Now these, as you can imagine, these brackets here do adjust, so they will adjust to fit your seat box. This is obviously a matrix seat box. If I pop that one on there, now these slide, as you can see, and you fix them in place. So I can tighten that up there, tighten that one up there, and make sure your support arm is going to be supporting it underneath, and that will take all the weight. And as you can see, I've got loads of room there. You're probably wondering why this looks bigger than some of the others. It's basically because that width is slightly larger, but the trays, the previous trays, end there on that back leg. As you can see here, you've got extra at either side. So there's loads and loads of room there. There is another bracket that you can have on that central leg. I don't need it. You only need one there, and I've got the support arm underneath. And that just leaves that free for where I've got my stopwatch and clicker, which is nice. I can keep that there now on my box, so that's another job that's saved, that I don't have to go to my bag and screw that on every time. And the final thing that well, there's two things that I really need to mention. One is my feeder arm. I'll leave the feeder arm on there. There we go. Not going to get easier than that, are you, to set that up? And then the final thing, which you all know about, is the toolbar. I keep a toolbar on my box. It makes it a little bit heavier, but that toolbar will allow me to use up to 4 keep nets on that, which is more than ample for the venues that I fish. And that's it. It's very much a personal thing, you set up. But I just wanted to highlight these things to you, because if you're going to go out and purchase a new box like this or any other seat box, just have a look at the design of it and make sure that it's going to fit in with your fishing and all your little brackets and stuff. A lot, you know, little brackets, and the way that you set up is very personal. And so the way I've set up here might not be the same as yours, but the elements as regards the design of the box, the way that you're going to transport it to your peg and all that sort of thing, even can you get it in your car, just daft things like that. A lot of people go out there and spend hundreds of pounds, if not thousands of pounds, on kit that's not quite right for them, and I hate for you to go out and make a mistake like that. So I hope you appreciate me sharing this with you. If you've got any questions about this setup or about any elements here that I've got on here or these products, then please post your comments below, and I'll do my very best to help you out. So thanks for watching, and I look forward to seeing you next time.